Hello everyone, welcome to REAC 2024. First, I'd like to present to you our program committee. There's myself, Stephen McAuley, a technical director at Sony Santa Monica Studio. We then have Angela Pescia, a senior technical director of simulation at Roblox, Natalia Tartachuk, CTO of Activision Publishing, and Michael Vance, a fellow software engineer at Activision. Also on our organization committee, we have Stephanie Sampson, executive assistant at Activision. She really helps us get this conference organized, keeps track of all our meeting notes, makes sure we get done the things that need to get done. So thank you so much, Stephanie. You're really vital to this conference. And also, of course, big thanks to IT and operations who are hosting this Zoom platform at Activision. Again, we really couldn't run this conference without all their hard work behind the scenes. So why are we here? We do already have a lot of conferences of rendering, such as SIGGRAPH, Eurographics, GDC, and more. Well, why have another conference? Well, here's the thing. We're really good at talking about beautiful graphics, clever optimizations, GPU architecture. We talk about the latest and greatest games all the time. Machine learning as well. That's a hot topic these days. Lots of machine learning. But we're not really great at talking about engine architecture. This is the kind of thing you use every day. You get to your desk, you sit down at work, and you're using it to implement a research paper, maybe. You're using it to write a feature for an artist, to build some content, to get it running in game, probably to get frustrated with because you're probably pretty annoyed by some aspects of it. And fundamentally, at the end of the day, you're using it to make a fun product. So there's loads of things we really miss by not talking about this. Again, is that what do you work with every day? What is it, your engine? Let's describe it. And what do you love about it? What do you hate about it? What can we do to improve it? There's also lots of things that influence your engine as well. It might be the tools you have, whether you use perhaps an editor as Maya or something, or maybe even editor on PC. You might be influenced by your product, the kind of game you're making. Maybe it's a first-person shooter, or maybe it's an open-world game. It could be also the people you have. Obviously, they influence a lot the decisions that you make. And then, of course, every day you are making trade-offs and you are making choices about what the engine does and how to build it, where to take it. We'd like to know why you made those. We're all making these choices every day. We'd love to know from other people what kind of choices they're making. Are they the same as us? Are they different, and why? So this conference began back at the Blarney Stone in Vancouver at SIGGRAPH 2018, when Natasha and I shared a beer and thought, yes, there is no space to talk about these kind of things. We need to create one. It took us a while, but in 2021, we finally managed to run a private event for REAC, just to test the water and see if it worked out, and it went really well. So we opened it up and democratized it and ran a SIGGRAPH course that year as well with all the content. Then in 2023, we came back with a free open virtual conference with invited talks and open submissions. Now, what about this year? Well, we listened to your feedback after last year's event. Turns out you actually really liked the format, but you did want us to focus a little more on games, and you really love bigger picture talks, post-mortems and engine analysis. So based on all that, we really decided this year to double down on our core mission, and we hope that we delivered. We'd love to know your thoughts after the conference. As such, we have this feedback form, and we really appreciate it you fill it in at the end of the conference to help us with future events. We'd also like to thank you all for your continued support. More than 1,600 people that registered this year so far from all over the world. And half of those were new, at least different from last year. So you might have used a new email address. So thank you and welcome. We really appreciate having so many of you and having such a diverse community here. So let's get started and let's talk about the content that we have. First, let's just talk a little bit about some content rules. We have a wonderful Discord channel where everyone talks and chats, and we really just want to make sure you treat everyone nicely there with respect. We had some great conversation on that last year. Let's keep it that way for this year, please. The Zoom and the Discord links, we'd really like you not to share those with other people. They are, of course, free to anyone who wants to join, but we'd really like them to go through the registration form, just so we can track that in the future. And also no recording. Now, we do think we can share everything on our website of this conference, after the conference, but please let us do that, and we'd appreciate, we just don't want to breach any trust of any presenters. So this helps us get really good content, so please, no recording, and we'll do what we can to get you everything as soon as we can. Now, how are the Q&As going to work? Well, everything is run through Discord. So what's going to happen after the speaker finishes speaking, moderator will come online and they will take questions from the Discord and relay those to the speaker. Now, if your question from Discord does not get asked, don't worry. We really encourage speakers to answer any additional questions on Discord after the Q&A session. And just a few quick Discord rules. Please use your real name. Again, just helps keep things easy to pronounce when we're reading your question out, and make sure we all know who everyone is. And please begin your question with question in big capital letters. Again, it really helps the moderators just pick up what actually is a question on Discord and what's just chat. And we'd hate for your question to get missed if you didn't do that. I've been talking a lot about Discord, so please join the Discord server for Q&A and conversation. This is the link. If you haven't joined yet, please do. It really does help enhance the conference experience. So what's our program look like? Well, after this opening presentation, we're going to move on to Alexander Drzewski from 4A Games, talking about resource management architecture in 4A Engine. After a short break, we return with John Valdez from EA Frostbite, about testing rendering code in Frostbite. And then we close the day at 10:45 with Kevin Tedisco from Blizzard talking about ray tracing in Diablo 4. And the Q&A from that will be done by Kevin Cantin, also from Blizzard. Then tomorrow we're going to start at the same time at 8 a.m. with a short introduction again, and then we'll move on to Tattoo Alto from Remedy Entertainment, talking on modernizing geometry rendering in Alan Wake 2. Then we Simon Eschbach with Q&A from Stephen White from Sledgehammer Games, optimizing the UI's CPU-bound frame rate in Call of Duty. Again, after a break, we'll close the presentation with myself, Stephen McAuley, and Matt Patinio from Sony Santa Monica Studio, with Maya as editor, the game development approach of Santa Monica Studio. Now, all the other organizers gave talks actually in the very first year of this conference in 2021. I avoided it then, but my sins, I guess, have caught up with me, and I had no more excuses, so I had to talk this year. So hopefully you enjoyed it. So again, I've said before, but slides and videos will be posted on our website and YouTube channel as soon as possible. I think we can post everything this year, but please hold on. We'll try and get them to you as soon as we can. We do have a new website this year, our own domain, actually. We're getting fancy. So note that, although our old website will redirect you to this new one. And obviously the YouTube channel is there too for you to look at. And if you like the content this year and you haven't seen the content from previous years, well, you're in for a treat. So please go there and take a look. Well, that's the end of this intro. So we'll just go for a short break and be back at 8:15 for Alexander Drzewski's presentation. Thank you all.